What's up, Buttercups? Hi, my name is Caitlin Donald. I am the Education Fellow at the Dubuque Museum of Art, and this is the next video in the Art Adventures program. And today is an experiment using the Google Autofill feature. So the Google Autofill feature is what happens when you go to Google and you type in a letter, and then all of a sudden all these things pop up below. And those are usually things that Google thinks you will ask because they're usually really common questions. So what I did is I drove around till I found internet, and then I started asking what, why, and how. So what, why, and how. Those are the three questions I started asking about art, and these are what the questions Google thought I was going to ask. So we can go over them. The way it's going to work is I'm going to kind of tell you my opinion, and then I'll just let you know kind of what Google said. So we'll start off with the what questions. So we will type what art, and Google, this is what Google suggested. So the first question was, what art sells the best? And I think this is a very subjective one, right? This depends on who you are and what you like and all that stuff. I think most art sells pretty well. It's just finding the right group of people to buy it that can be difficult. According to Google, wildlife pictures and the color red are the way to go. So I guess if you just make pictures of cardinals for the rest of your life, you'll be a art millionaire. But again, I think it's just being true to who you are and what you want to say, and then attempting to find people that think like you and building that kind of that fan base. And in today's world, it's really easy. It's easy to find people because we have Etsy and Patreon and all the things on the internet and phones and technology, and it's really easy to make those connections with people that would want to buy your art. The next question was, what art period are we in? What art movement are we in? Some people think that we are still in a movement called postmodernism. I'll write that up here. And others think that we are in a completely new movement because of all these technologies that are coming out and the fact that art is becoming more and more digital. But Google said that postmodern, but then Google tried to sell me a bunch of stuff. So, that's always fun. Postmodernism, though, refers to art made from the 1970s and on. The concepts behind it were that we live in a very fragmented and chaotic world. Everything is very fast-paced. A lot of postmodern artists build their work by mixing concepts or ideas and techniques from the past. The third question that I got was, what art was Da Vinci known for? So this is talking about Leonardo da Vinci. So what we're going to do is we'll click on that one, and then we'll click on the search button, and oh man, look you guys, Google brought up images. Oh, that's so cool. Thanks, Google. So this is totally real. So this is the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is probably one of the most famous paintings ever. Everyone kind of knows this one. This is one that he did it for a silk merchant, and it was oil on wood. But it's actually kind of small. I saw it once in real life, and it was very small, and then there was hundreds and hundreds of people in front of me, and I was a very tiny teenager, so I couldn't see it very well. But this is one of his most famous. Another one, we'll click the next button on Google. Look, Google brought up another image, guys. So this is the other one. Jesus, and he's got all the disciples around him. So this is called Last Supper. Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper, and it depicts the Last Supper of Jesus. And then the third one that I think he's most known for, we'll get that out of the way. The third one that I think he's most known for, I'll only show you the top of because there are children watching, But the Vitruvian Man, so this is the Vitruvian Man, and this guy is also very popular. Da Vinci also did a lot of science sketches. He made designs for crazy contraptions like flying machines and bikes and other things. So he was kind of all over the place. He was really well known. He was insanely intelligent. But those three, I would say, are the most popular. When I actually went into Google, Google said the Mona Lisa. So Google and I agree, I guess. All right. So now it's time for the how art questions. So now, this is what Google gave me. How art thou? I'm good, Google. Thank you for asking in such an elegant way. The next question was, how art made the world? So this is actually a documentary. It's a documentary series that aired in like 2005 on BBC One. It's pretty great. When the Earth opens up again and you can go out in the world, you should go to the library and watch it because it's really cool. And then the last one I got was how art affects the brain. So this one is kind of complicated, but really cool. I know that your brain is really amazing at faces and patterns, meaning we really like to figure out what something looks like. When we see an artwork like an oil painting, it helps our brain exercise, kind of, because it's trying to see a pattern or create one. So when you're looking really intensely at something like a drawing, blood flow to the brain actually increases. It's like something like 10%, which is really pretty cool. And I know making art helps with stress and actually ups your brain cells' ability to make connections. So your brain cells are better at connecting with each other, which helps your brain function better and problem solve better. Google gave me a bunch of links to a website called artforhealing.org, which I have no idea what that is. So, I don't know. I should click on it sometime. So now it's time for the why questions. So we'll type in why into our Google search, why art. And look, you guys, Google is populating questions. So the first one was, why art important? Which is not grammatically correct, Google, but I appreciate your effort. I think art is important because it's uniquely us. So it's a way for a culture to kind of archive our beliefs and who we are. As humans, we are natural creators. And that creativity and that problem solving is what really sets us apart, not only as animals, but actually as a species. So early hominids, or other types of people like Neanderthals, they had tools, but they were nowhere near the level of Homo sapiens. So they were nowhere near the level of us. And art has always been a way to communicate and kind of preserve more complex things like emotions and beliefs. And this is extremely important for a society, for a group of people. I also think that it's important for the reasons said in the last question, how it affects your brain and your well-being. It's a healthy thing, not just for the individual, but again, it's a healthy thing for a group of people to have. Google said it's enriching and makes people optimistic about the future, and it can change lives. So that's what Google said. The next question was, why art good? Well, I would say we covered that in the last two questions, so I'll skip over that one. And then the last one I got was, why art was created. So this one was kind of cool. This one, so the oldest forms of art, like cave painting and things, are thought to be a part of a very religious or spiritual mindset. It's very important. You're crawling down into a cave, in a very dark cave with nothing but a torch, and it's really dangerous. And so the art you make is got to be really important, right? You're not just going to crawl into a cave and make whatever you want. But also, you have to remember that this was all before writing. We started making art before we started writing. And before writing, the only way to communicate with strangers was you would tell someone, and then that person would tell someone, and then that person would tell someone, and it would go on, and so on forever. But with pictures that are on something, on an object or an object itself, you can communicate with people. You can talk to people that you might never get to see. And that was really important for how we as humans evolved, how we became what we are. Google, for some reason, it put in is. So Google said art is created and enjoyed by many people for many reasons. Like, Google, you gave me this question, specifically with the was. So anyway, that's our Google experiment. So thank you, Google, for answering all our questions. Man, I wish I could just go on Facebook and make a cool post. Boop. Have a good day, guys. I'll see you later. Peace out.